Hi, it's Bruce Linton from the Father's Forum with a blog post on how becoming a father may change you as a man. And I have talked about this before, um, but it does seem like this is something that comes up often in my work with dads and as a ongoing theme in our groups. So, three things that I want to touch on. The first one is the chaos that your life goes into when you have a young baby, or really the early years of parenting, is pretty normal. Although a lot of people, I think, particularly dads, if we don't have contact with other fathers, tend to feel like, oh God, my life is falling apart. This must be very serious and difficult and problematic. But guess what? It's just what everybody's going through. So if you get a chance to talk with other dads, it'll help normalize the amount of chaos that you experience when you become a father. But that leads to what I call tolerance for uncertainty. And the more you can take that as your mantra, tolerance for uncertainty, then the more sense your life will make. You just really don't have control over the things that are going to happen as they happen. And that is a huge, huge learning for us, particularly as men, since we're brought up to, be in control and know what's going on and take charge. So I say give up all hope of being in charge and having things under control and see what living with the uncertainty leads to. And that takes us to our second point. What that leads to is the only survival technique for the uncertainty you have to deal with is patience. And the more that you can understand that for yourself and just go with the flow and be patient with yourself first, then being patient with your child or your children or your wife or your extended family, which can be trying at times too. Uh, um, the better off you will be in general. But the learning of patience is part of the practice of fatherhood. And the final stage, number three, is developing out of the empathy. You begin to hear more closely what other people are saying, and even better than hearing, understanding what they're feeling. And that's the birth of a kind of empathy. Let's make a quick make a quick distinction. Sympathy means I know what you're feeling because I've felt that way too. That's sympathy. Empathy is completely different. Empathy means I hear what it's like for you, separate from how I feel. And listening with that empathetic ear, particularly to your child, but trust me, it's very helpful with your wife, can also lead to a deeper understanding of what another person's experience is like. And that's what I think is the main, what would I say, the main force of becoming a father is you learn what other people's experiences are like and care about them in a way that is larger than yourself. So some of the self-centeredness that we all grew up with as men seems to dissipate as we begin to appreciate the experience of our child, of our partner, and that empathy grows. So just recapping quickly, we've got tolerance for uncertainty, the chaos that your life goes into when you become a dad. And then out of that comes the practice of patience, and that practice of patience, which is different and a long and winding road for all of us, leads to the birth of a kind of empathy and being able to hear other people's experiences and appreciate their feelings separate from your own. And that leads to some very deepening in the relationships you have with your child, with your wife, with your extended family, but really with the world in general. So good luck on the path. Remember, practice your patience at every given opportunity. Be well now. That's it for this week. Bye bye.